Hi, I'm Katabulous, a cosplayer, Twitch streamer, and enthusiast of quirky media projects, and this is my Fallout 76 island. On the island of Appalachia, I've tried to recreate in as much excruciating detail as I can possibly muster one of my favorite all-time games, Fallout 76. So I have never recorded anything like this type of video, but this project is just too weirdly specific to not document, and it has such a big piece of my heart because I really poured a lot into this island and gave it a lot of my life. This has taken me about 6 months to do, and I couldn't be happier to share it with the world, although I'm a little skeptical of the crossover of hardcore Animal Crossing New Horizons fans and hardcore Fallout 76 fans. But I am both, and this is my passion project. Here is the map for the island Appalachia, and of course there's the dream address if you'd like to tour for yourself. If you check out the dream address, let me know in the comments. I would love to know what people think of this strange little project. But our villagers are Renee, who is one of our raider representatives. We have Punchy, who is a settler, and specifically he is a ward of Foundation. We have Vesta, who of course makes the most perfect sheep squatch. Ken is our Brother of Steel representative. I mean, he's just so perfect, and his head kind of looks like a power armor helmet, so that's helpful too. Cherry is another raider girl. We'll visit her house, which is Crater. I just think Cherry makes the best little raider. Coco, of course, had to be on this island because she looks exactly like a ghoul. We have Grizzly, who's another settler. Rasher, who's a raider. Roscoe, who is, of course, a blood eagle. And Cephalobot, representing all of our robot friends in Fallout 76. If you visit my dream address, it will of course drop you here. Resident Services is serving as the White Springs Resort, or the White Springs Refuge. And here you can pick up some presents that I have left for you if you feel like getting dressed for the occasion, but I'm actually going to start the tour from Vault 76 and essentially walk through the map as you would naturally explore it with a playthrough of Fallout 76. The entryway of my island isn't anything too special, but it is an homage to the fissure site just south of the White Springs Resort. Oh, and this is just about the worst thing that could happen on a tour day. CJ. Why? Why today, CJ? Why? There is a bit of lag on this island, but that's kind of unavoidable. I really tried to include as much as I possibly could that would be an homage to the incredibly detailed map that is Appalachia in Fallout 76. Now, there's no way I could include everything, but I tried to include as many Easter eggs and homages to all the detail of a game I've played for so many hours. So, you might not even see everything on this tour. I don't even know if I could point everything out, but if you're a hardcore Fallout 76 fan and you happen to visit my dream address, maybe you'll spot some things that I forget to point out in the video. Here we are outside Vault 76, freshly emerged just as you would at the beginning of the game, donning your party hat, ready to conquer the Appalachian wasteland for Reclamation Day. Outside the vault, you can see the remnants of the newcomers that have come to Appalachia seeking treasure. You might even pick up a treasure map to start your travels, and of course the donation box where higher level players might be kind enough to drop some plans or weapons to help you on your journey. If you travel north of the vault, you'll see the forest region, still kind of thriving despite being 25 years after the nuclear bombs have dropped. We have Archer Farm in the distance, where you might meet some of the first settlers in the game, and the Tyler County Dirt Track, where you might claim your first workshop. I've also included the West Virginia Lumber Company site, where Duchess might send you on one of your first quests. And over here we have a small homage to Deathclaw Island. Not the biggest, baddest Deathclaw I've ever seen, but she will defend her eggs ferociously should you approach. You can see the remains of the abandoned lives of those who lived here in Appalachia when the bombs dropped, including this house partially destroyed by the bombs, still standing. Probably some good stuff to loot in there. Of course, if you travel south of the vault, you'll come across the Wayward Inn. which is where most players in Fallout 76 start their first missions. You'll also come across the Overseer's Camp and find the first recordings that will help you on your way to start to unravel the lore and mysteries of Appalachia. You can travel to the town of Flatwoods, once an outpost of the responders who seem to have mysteriously disappeared. If you want to become a responder, you certainly may, and I've included some presents in the dream address to help you look the part. We of course have the abandoned church, a trading outpost of the responders. You can loot some much needed stim packs or food sources. And you might probably want to pet Chloe, our good girl. Oh, and oops, it looks like there's a corpse back there. Maybe a former responder. Maybe you can find their survivor stories. Sorry about you, guy. We also have Vault Tech Agricultural. This is just kind of a small little piece. But another good spot to loot some supplies, on your journey in the wasteland. And no Fallout 76 homage would be complete without reverence to the Mothman. Over here we have a little cemetery / Mothman altar worship sites, and there's some little presents here in the dream address as well if you choose to join the cult of the enlightened Mothman. And of course, just by the Ohio River, we have Point Pleasant, home of the Mothman Museum. Ah yes, behold, the shiny butt of the Mothman statue, and the various occultist accoutrement of those who worship him. Continuing through the forest region, here we have, of course, Camp Adams, where you might partake in the public event Campfire Tales. You might get a little recipe for s'mores here. Here we have the Poseidon Energy Plant. And of course, the Giant Teapot, a must-see tourist spot for Appalachia. If you were to travel south from the Charleston train station, you would wind up in the Ash Heap. We have, of course, the Charleston train yard, where you might find the body of a woman in a dress that will unlock a world of mysteries. You might also claim the workshop at the Charleston landfill, visit some abandoned burning mines, or stop by Camden Park, work a shift, and collect those sweet, sweet Mr. Fuzzy tokens. Oh, and just across the river, of course, we have the Nuka-Cola factory. A small homage, really, but I mean, you've got to have the Nuka-Cola factory. And in the ash heap, of course, we also have mole miners aplenty, so, watch out for those guys. And one little ash heap Easter egg I just had to include was, the gnomes. The gnomes and the fire, and yeah, I don't know, whatever's going on down here at the Hornwright Industrial Test Site. If you know, you know. Here at Mount Blair, of course, we have the Rock Crusher. We have a little homage to the event Encrypted here. You gotta earn yourself a White Wolf fedora, everybody knows. You might also become a fire breather at the Charleston Fire Station, or you could swing by Nuka World and get those sweet, sweet Nuka points for the Nuka-cade. Over here we have an homage, of course, to the Blue Ridge Caravan Company and Big Bend Tunnel. And we have our Blood Eagle lair, kind of an amalgam of the various Blood Eagle camps that you see throughout the Appalachian map. We have a very fierce bloodhound guard dog here, all manner of debauchery, and Roscoe, our Blood Eagle representative, his house is one of the infamous Blood Eagle lairs. And here is the interior of our Blood Eagle lair. Of course, we have a little jail cell back here for, whatever prisoner, but presumably Beckett, right? He's our guy. And Roscoe, just the perfect Blood Eagle, right? Those creepy eyes, that cool leather jacket. I didn't have to change much about his house. I think he's really at home here. And, gotta have a safe back here for all that sweet, sweet buff out that they're hoarding. And of course we have the flooded capital city of Charleston. If you need to stop at the DMV for some reason, you can go to the Capitol building, and just watch out because sometimes there are alien invaders. This, of course, is the New Gorge River Bridge, where you might even stop to play ukulele. Of course, watch out for the ghouls. If you're looking to earn some caps, you might need to go test the water quality and return the data to the Tigart Water Facility. And here we have Helvetia. We have little homages to each of the parade robots for Fastnacht, of course the Candle Maker, the Cheese House, the Historical Steins, the Honey House, the Bonfire for Old Man Winter. And of course, if you help the robots complete the Fastnacht parade, well, you get a mask. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Hope it's a rare drop. And, oh, what's this? What's this we have here? Oh, of course, no Fastnacht celebration would be complete without an AFKer hiding somewhere. Do what you gotta do, bud. Also in the forest region, oh, what's that? Is that a radstag up there? Oh, glowing radstag. You might stop by Bolton Greens. Bolton's Green? Bolton's Green? Bolton's Green. Well, whatever. The robots are having a Halloween party, and you have to help them. So here we have a little nod to the public event distinguished guests. I tried as much as possible to include nods to the public events. So here we have the lighthouse, where you can summon the enlightened Mothman by collecting Firefly bioluminescent fluid. And then we come across, of course, Morgantown. Here's Mama Dolce's Cannery. Get that canned meat stew for the extra XP. Might pick up some Nuka Shine and say hi to Biv, our favorite drunken robot. Got the train station over here. Balloon, really? Really? We're doing a tour. Oh, what do we have here? A desk fan? Who carries around a desk fan? You can swing by Vault Tech University. Or keep traveling north past the Grafton Dam. And then you'll come into the Toxic Valley region. Ah! Red Scorpion! We've got Grafton Steel here. Watch out for super mutants. And of course, one of my personal favorite Fallout 76 locations, Wavy Willard's Water Park, featuring the Crocolocuses. I've literally never been able to say it properly. And just a tiny little homage here, you have a slight overhead view of the Morgantown Airport, where the responders have taken over as they investigate the Scorched Plague. We also have in the Toxic Valley region 2 special locations. Crater, home of the Raiders. You can pick up some Raider gear here on the Dream Address. You gotta buy your chems. Maybe the Raiders have some quests for you to take on. You can get on the stage, but the Raiders will boo you. And, I don't know, a little torture device back here, Raider stuff. And Cherry is our Crater Raider representative, and she's home, so let's go take a look at the interior of Crater. Oh, she had to be cooking, of course. Really, Cherry? Really? Well, I guess even Raiders gotta eat. Hopefully she's not a gourmand. Who knows what she's cooking up here. Don't forget to say hey to Gale and little Rah-Rah, of course. The Toxic Valley also would not be complete without another of my favorite locations, which is the Pioneer Scout Camp. Watch out for Mire lurks, of course. But you might want to start earning your Pioneer Scout badges, starting with archery. Here is the interior of the abandoned Pioneer Scouts camp. This is where you can take your exams so that you can earn those Pioneer Scout badges, which personally for me was such a fun journey. I actually did a no fast travel walk around in 76 to earn all of my badges last summer. It was a good time. Also, it doesn't make a lot of sense that the Sheep Squatch is living in the Pioneer Scout camp, but we did the best we could. And she's having a great time. If you travel north in the Toxic Valley, you could of course visit the historic Pricketts Fort, stock up on wood, and maybe even collect the bones of an old soldier to bring down to Phillips Battery Cemetery. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But you bury the bones here. You see what we're going for. And of course we have the Palace of the Winding Path, where you can light the brazier. God, I hope that's how you say that word. One of the more unique locations in Fallout 76, but kind of easier to recreate given what we have to work with in Animal Crossing. And of course a favorite public event location. The forest region transitions into the Savage Divide, where, according to a poll I did on Twitter, one of the most iconic viewpoints is Top of the World. You'll be brought here, of course, by the beautiful voice of Rose, sending out transmissions. And we have another raider spot here. We have an abandoned ski lodge taken over by the raiders. Here is the interior of the raider-claimed abandoned ski shop. I'm actually feeling a little embarrassed because I can't remember what it's called in game. I want to say Sunny Top Ski Resort, but I really don't know. But here you have an homage to the skiing vibes that are sprinkled throughout 76. Rasher is our raider. I don't know why he has to be cooking now, but I did give him this biker jacket to try and make him look a little more tough. But isn't he just a perfect raider? You love to see it. You, of course, need to traverse across the mountains, and you might even stumble across Fort Atlas, the home of our dear Brotherhood of Steel. Ken is our Brotherhood of Steel representative because, I mean, he's just perfect, and his little chicken head looks just like a power armor helmet. So let's take a look at the interior of Fort Atlas. We, of course, have a power armor station and the interior of the observatory, which we hope to repair, and stacks of all the technical documents that I have brought to Scribe Valdez. Some more hotspots in the Savage Divide would, of course, be Emmett Disposal Site, where we can jump into everyone's favorite public event, Radiation Rumble. And we can take a look inside Coco's house here to see one of my favorite interiors to decorate, of course, being Rad Rumble. Here is the interior of Emmett's Disposal Site for the Rad Rumble. You can come back here. You've got to fight off all the glowing ghouls, of course, but not Coco. Coco's a very chill ghoul. And, you know, protect Marion Copeland and all of her henchmen while you collect irradiated ore from the back. This was a really fun interior to make too. Love Rad Rumble. Who doesn't love a good Rad Rumble? Here we have the Middle Mountain cabins belonging to the Blue Ridge Caravan Company. You might have to repair some equipment to fight off the critters. Help our Blue Ridge Caravan traders keep on trading. You might also be summoned to Blackwater Mine to help with a little uranium fever. And of course, after Uranium Fever, you'll be taking all of your loot to cash in at the White Springs train station. And here we have Vesta. Hi, Vesta. Isn't she just the most adorable sheep squatch you've ever seen? I did also make sheep squatch her catchphrase, which doesn't make sense either, but I love that she says it. You can trade in your weapons to get some legendary modules. Get some legendaries, drop some things off at the donation box. And of course, you can make a little stop over here at the White Spring Resort. What is that? What are you? You're killing me, Smalls. This flower must go. You could take in a round of golf if you like. Just be sure to watch out for ghouls or raiders posing as the elite. Now, speaking of the White Spring, my house is actually built on what is meant to be the roof of the White Spring Resort. So here you can see, here's, you know, Lennox's helicopter, of course, if you need to fly off on an expedition. But we'll take a tour of the inside of my house because it's actually meant to represent the inside of the White Spring. I probably should have put some robots in here to represent all of our favorite busy little bots, keeping the White Spring alive and lovely. But here we have the main foyer of the White Spring Mall. And of course, we've got some vendors we could see here. We've got all the workbenches we could possibly need. And, you know, get some gold bullion, turn in your treasury notes, your legendaries. You can take care of all your business here, really. Some other spots on the White Spring Mall level, we of course have our homage here to the little spa. Great place to harvest soap, actually, for oil. You know, even in the apocalypse, you gotta relax, and the White Spring staff are here to help. And anyone who's played 76 knows that there are a variety of vendors in the White Springs Mall for basically whatever you need, you know, to take on whatever the wasteland has in store for you. But also to the chagrin of these mindful White Spring robots, the responders have taken over and turned the upper level of the White Springs into the responders' refuge. So you might need to go see Esme to help in the kitchen. Luckily, the robots will still serve you if you have a seat at their little cafe. I don't know if they'll bring you any perfectly preserved pie, but one can hope. And, you might get a little info about Atlantic City and all the expeditions that await you there. Now, spoilers, I guess, but below the White Springs Resort, there is a bunker. So in the basement of my house, I have kind of an homage to not just the White Springs bunker, but also all of the silos that exist in-game throughout Appalachia. So here, of course, you might join the Enclave, and if you are so inclined, you might even drop a nuke. Now, of course, to exit the silo, you can't come in the way you came out, so you can leave right through this tube here, which of course will spit you out through this porta potty by Magana Lookout. Now, there's a few more spots of interest in, of course, the Savage Divide. We have the Sunnyside train station here. Should you travel far enough south, you'll start to see remnants of the destroyed monorail system of Appalachia, and you might encounter the Mountainside Bed and Breakfast. This is Grizzly's house, and we've done the interior of his house to be the interior of the Mountainside Bed and Breakfast, now run by settlers, and also one of the last locations where the overseer of Vault 76 leaves us her messages. Here's Grizzly. He took me, by the way, 163 Nook Miles tickets to find, but I just had to have him. I just think he's the perfect Appalachian settler. But here's his bed and breakfast. Like everything in the wasteland, it's seen better days, but still a decent place to stop by. We can also travel south here to visit Foundation, the home of the settlers. You'll need to take the elevator down to see Aubrey and meet the rest of the Foundation settlers, but you could also come see Sonny. I hear he's got hoagies. Maybe, possibly. And I do wonder, are they ever going to fix that mailbox? But of course I had to put the mailbox here. There's some presents outside Foundation as well, if you decide to join up with the settler faction. But please be sure to go see our friend Ward, because he is missing some equipment and he would just love for you to go find it for him. Here we have Ward's office, plenty of vodka and chems, and of course here's the desk where he likes to sit while he makes you do all the work. Punchy is Ward because, look at him. He's perfect. Little lazy cat, just like our Ward. This was probably one of the most fun interior builds to do, but honestly, I think that's just because I'm a Ward stan. Yeah, I said it. I stan Ward, and I stan Punchy. It's a perfect fit. North of Foundation, you might travel through Huntersville. Now, I see a lot of meat bags lining this abandoned city, so you might want to watch out. There's probably super mutants here. And of course, if you want to know how super mutants are made, you should visit West Tech Research Facility. Now, of course, if you travel east, you'll come across Fort Defiance, the last stand of the Brotherhood. Now, of course, if you travel east, you'll come across Fort Defiance, the last stand of the Brotherhood in days gone by. And eventually you'll come to the Cranberry Bog. You can see the overgrowth of some nuked flora and the cranberry fields. And of course, we have the fissure site where you can fight the Scorch Beast Queen. It's an iconic public event in the Fallout 76 lore. We're also going to travel through the city of Watoga, where if you were interested in some raider cage fighting, our friend Renee is another of our raider representatives, and her house is our raider battle arena. I tried as much while building to give gifts and befriend my villagers because I really wanted them to learn some Fallout themed catchphrases, and I got a few in there. Many of them call me Dweller, which I love. But I was really pleased that I was able to get them to start asking got chems. That's about as close as I got to any Fallout 76 related catchphrases. Renee was actually one of my starter villagers, and I was so pleased because I knew I wanted her for this island. I think she is the perfect raider goddess, and her house has become the raider arena in Watoga. So you can sign up here and enter if you dare. And it's easy to miss, but we've also included a nod to the Robco Robot Research Facility. Our friend Cephalobot lives here, and his house, of course, is the Robco Robot Facility, so we can see some of Robco's finest prototypes on display. And back here we have what's supposed to be a brain, you know, for all the robo-brains. Essentially the squishiest, cutest little Mr. Handy you ever did see. North of the Cranberry Bog, we'll be entering the Mire region, so you can take a little peek at Harper's Ferry over here, blow the train whistle if you like. You can see the overgrowth of the mire, the swampy region. Watch out for gulpers, because here we are at the home of my personal favorite public event, which is the Moonshine Jamboree. So kill you some gulpers, take that sweet, sweet acidic venom and toss it into the moonshine tub. You could also pop over and visit the Dyer Chemical Plant on the peninsula, or maybe fetch some pumpkins to go see Jack at the Pumpkins house. Here we have Nook's Cranny, which I've kind of used to represent both the Pumpkin house and, of course, Freddy Fear's Halloween shop. So we have pumpkins aplenty and Halloween items. And if we keep traveling north up the highway through the mire, we'll also come across the Red Rocket Mega Truck Stop. This is a workshop that you can claim, or maybe you just want to run through and do a little looting, you know, pick you up some Nuka-Cola, some snacks. In the very, very back of the island, we also have a little secret back here, just a little homage to Vault 79 and all the secrets and treasures that lie within. You could also stop by the Sons of Dane compound, home to another one of my favorite public events. Play a little music, summon the Nightwalker, and, you know, get rewarded with some beer. What could be better? And now we've come full circle. We have traversed the wasteland. Honestly, I could probably keep running around for hours and hours because I really poured my heart into packing all of the detail and Easter eggs that I possibly could into this island. Such a joy to bring together two properties that probably most people don't want to put together, but that's what I'm here for. Thanks so much for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of my weird projects. You can also follow me on Twitch, where I will be starting my new island, something completely different. We're going Flower Core. I also play Fallout 76 on my Twitch channel too. So again, eclectic media projects, it's where I thrive. This has been a dream project, and I can't believe I actually did it. I can't believe it's actually finished after thinking so much about it and then actually making it happen. So thank you so much for watching.